The video is like a superhero movie, but instead of capes, it's all about Steph Curry's ability to keep his cool while the basketball world is in chaos. Imagine him just chilling on the court while defenders are sweating like they're in a sauna. He's out there making doubters eat their words faster than a kid at an all-you-can-eat buffet. The clips show him sinking threes like they're free samples at Costco, leaving NBA players and critics looking like confused puppies who just saw a magic trick. These legendary moments are like a highlight reel of Curry giving everyone a friendly reminder that underestimating him is as smart as trying to challenge a cat to a staring contest. It's all about Curry's journey from underdog to the guy who makes defenders look like they're playing in slow motion.
If it was not that far behind Curry, Beal had a chance to steal.
The fall of the Warriors dynasty wasn't just a single moment, it was a series of crushing blows. Kevin Durant left the team in 2019. Klay Thompson, Steph's longtime teammate, missed 2 consecutive seasons with devastating injuries. And then, Steph himself broke his hand, leaving the Warriors to finish at the very bottom of the league. For Steph Curry, this wasn't the end, it was a new beginning. Through relentless off-season training, he rebuilt his strength, fine-tuned his game, and stepped onto the court with one mission: silence the doubters. From the very start of the 2022 season, Steph and the Warriors set the tone. Averaging 25.5 points per game, Curry led the team to a 53-win season, securing the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. The doubters were beginning to take notice. In the playoffs, the Warriors dismantled the Nuggets, silenced the Grizzlies, and outclassed the Mavericks. Each game, Curry reminded the league why he was one of the all-time greats.
Close quarters, gets it back, 3 to tie.
Kevin Durant left, Klay Thompson turned into the NBA's unluckiest player, and Steph Curry broke his hand probably because he was carrying the team. Let's be honest, the Warriors' 2020 season was like watching your favorite superhero lose their powers. They weren't just bad, they were turn off the TV in the 3rd quarter bad. Even Kendrick Perkins got bold and said, "The Warriors won't win another ring in my lifetime."
But to be honest with you, I don't see the Golden State Warriors bringing home another championship.
Bold words for a man younger than Tom Brady. While the world was doubting, Steph Curry was grinding. In the gym, on the court, maybe even in his sleep. He was building something. Klay? He was probably practicing his golf swing. Hey, it's called balance. When the 2022 season started, Steph didn't just play basketball. He turned it into performance art. Averaging 25.5 points per game, he reminded everyone that you can't spell Steph without MVP. Okay, you can. In the playoffs, Steph wasn't just playing basketball, he was handing out lessons. Nuggets? Out. Grizzlies? Bye-bye. Luka? Pack your bags, buddy. By the time the Warriors reached the finals, Curry had everyone Googling, is Steph Curry a cheat code? Spoiler, he is. In the finals, the Boston Celtics tried to stop Curry. Keyword, tried. In Game 4, Steph scored 43 points. That's not a basketball game, that's an NBA clinic. If you listen closely, you could hear Boston fans whispering, "Please stop this man."
He's got 8 points. Curry steps back, 3-pointer, got it. Steph Curry, his first 3. Curry, another long-distance shot. It's good, Steph Curry.
Winning the finals wasn't enough. Steph had to go and win his first finals MVP, too. For years, people said he couldn't do it. Well, now he's done it, and Kendrick Perkins? He had to eat his words faster than Steph shoots threes.
Part of it, whatever you need for motivation, and when they go on to win it, guess what?
In 2022, Steph Curry didn't just prove his doubters wrong, he made them his biggest fans.
I'm league MVP, a member of our 75th anniversary team, and for the first time ever, he's an NBA Finals MVP. The 2022 Bill Russell NBA Finals MVP award goes to Stephen Curry.
Because when it comes to basketball, there's only one thing we know for sure. Never, and I mean never, bet against Steph Curry. Back in 2019, during the Western Conference semifinals, Chris Paul decided to play mind games with Steph Curry. Spoiler alert, it didn't end well for CP3. What started as a little court drama turned into one of the most embarrassing moments in Rockets playoff history. To understand the drama, you have to rewind to 2018. The Rockets and Warriors had built a fierce rivalry, facing off in the Western Conference Finals. Chris Paul even mocked Curry with his infamous shimmy. But while the Rockets danced, the Warriors won. Fast forward to 2019, and CP3 decided it was time for revenge. Here's where things get spicy. The Warriors were up 3-2 in the series, one win away from sending the Rockets home. Steph, being Steph, wanted to get some extra practice in the night before Game 6. So, he booked the court at the Toyota Center for 7 to 8 p.m. Pretty normal, right? Well, not if you're Chris Paul. Somehow, CP3 found out about Steph's court time and decided to crash the party. Instead of sharing the court like a normal human being, Paul pulled a power move and kicked Steph off. Let me repeat that, he kicked Steph Curry off the court. That's like telling Michael Jordan he can't use the gym because you're playing pickup. Steph didn't argue. He didn't complain. He just smiled and left. But if Chris Paul thought he'd won, he clearly forgot who he was dealing with. The next day, Game 6 started, and Curry was, let's just say, unusually quiet. He scored 0 points in the first half. The Rockets probably thought they had this game in the bag. 0 points from Curry? That's like seeing Superman without his cape. But here's the thing, Steph doesn't need a cape. He just needs the fourth quarter. Steph came alive in the second half, finishing with 33 points, including a jaw-dropping 23 points in the fourth quarter alone.
The way they won Game 5 in Oakland. Then they pull out Game 6, just moments for the Rockets fans. So many on their feet right now. Curry launches a three-pointer, puts it in! Steph Curry! Curry with Tucker right with him. Curry launches a three, puts it in!
He let his game do the talking. But behind that humble grin, you just know he was thinking, this court? Yeah, it's mine now. As for Chris Paul, let's just say he probably double-checks his bookings these days. Chris Paul's pregame pettiness might have cost him more than just a playoff series. It became a legendary tale of how one man's revenge plan backfired spectacularly. So, the next time you see Steph Curry on a court, remember, don't poke the bear, or in this case, the chef. Back in 2017, Steph Curry and Russell Westbrook weren't just competitors, they were the NBA's version of oil and water. Two MVPs, two very different styles of play, and one unforgettable showdown that left the basketball world buzzing. By 2017, the rivalry between Curry and Westbrook was heating up. Steph was the reigning MVP, a symbol of finesse and efficiency. Meanwhile, Russ was the explosive powerhouse, the man who made triple-doubles look easy. It was a battle of brains versus brawn, and trust me, the tension was real. The Warriors were dominating the Thunder, as they often did in those days. But on this night, things got personal. Late in the game, after a jump ball, Curry and Westbrook got into a heated shoving match. And, because every good drama needs a sidekick, a random Thunder player jumped in too, probably to make it a fair fight. By now, the crowd was loving it. You could almost hear them thinking, forget the score, we want the drama. Even the bench players were on edge, ready to break out their popcorn. But Steph had the perfect response. Moments after the scuffle, with just seconds left on the clock, he did what Steph Curry does best, hit an impossible buzzer-beater three-pointer. The crowd erupted, the Thunder looked stunned, and Steph? He sprinted to the locker room faster than Westbrook on a fast break. Curry didn't just make his point, he made his exit. He hit the shot, ran straight to the locker room, and probably thought, "Let Russ talk, I'll let my game do the talking." After the game, the rivalry only grew stronger. Curry kept it classy, as usual, while Russ wasn't exactly thrilled. But hey, when you lose and the other guy hits a buzzer beater, what else can you do but stew in silence? Fast forward to today, and that 2017 showdown still stands as a defining moment in their rivalry. It wasn't just about basketball, it was about pride, style, and proving who could shine brightest under pressure. Spoiler alert, it was Steph Curry versus Westbrook wasn't just a game, it was a statement. A reminder that no matter how physical the game gets, Steph Curry will always find a way to have the last word. Or, in this case, the last shot. Kevin Porter Jr. thought he had it all figured out. Youth, talent, and a little extra attitude to spice things up. But what he didn't have was the wisdom to know one universal truth: never, and I mean never, taunt Steph Curry. The stage was set for a regular season game between the Warriors and Rockets. Nothing unusual, right? But for Kevin Porter Jr., this was more than a game, it was his moment to make a statement. Unfortunately for him, that statement was about to backfire spectacularly. Midway through the third quarter, Kevin Porter Jr. decided to spice things up. After fouling Curry, he stared him down like he'd just won an NBA title. Newsflash, he hadn't. In fact, all he did was wake up the greatest shooter in NBA history. It didn't take long for Steph to respond. Porter Jr.'s taunt was like throwing a match into a gas tank. Curry erupted, hitting one deep three after another, leaving the Rockets scrambling. By the time the dust settled, Steph had dropped 40 points and drained 7 threes. Even the crowd couldn't believe what they were watching. Every time Curry hit a shot, the noise got louder. Meanwhile, Rockets fans? Let's just say they were Googling, what happens when you taunt Steph Curry? Answer, nothing good. By the fourth quarter, it was clear, Kevin Porter Jr. knew he'd messed up. Big time. Each Curry three was like a personalized message saying, don't ever try that again.
22. Yeah, they still had a good night, but you made them really earn that. Kevin Porter Jr. took it to trouble. JTA was there to help. Curry, open three. He took his time there. Is doing it all right now. Curry relocate three. Got it!
And Porter Jr.? Well, he earned himself a front row seat to watch the greatest shooter of all time. Kevin Porter Jr. learned the hard way that trash-talking Steph Curry isn't just risky, it's career advice you'll regret. And for Steph, it was just another day at the office. Because when it comes to silencing doubters, Curry's motto is simple: let your game do the talking and maybe throw in 40 points while you're at it. In 2022, the Memphis Grizzlies were the NBA's ultimate hype squad, young, talented, and, well, a little too confident. They had dance moves, they had swagger, and they had Ja Morant. But when they started talking trash to Steph Curry, they found out the hard way that actions have consequences. The Memphis Grizzlies were the hottest young team in the league. They were fast, fearless, and full of energy. But if you listen closely, you'd hear something else: trash talk. And not just any trash talk. This was next level, we own the league trash talk. Spoiler alert, they didn't. The stage was set, the 2022 Western Conference semifinals. The Grizzlies, the league's young guns, were the second seed. The Warriors, the grizzled veterans, were the third seed. But this wasn't just a playoff series, it was a battle for respect. In Game 2, Ja Morant decided to start some friendly banter with Steph Curry. After hitting a clutch layup to seal the game, he pointed at Curry and said, "We're going to have some fun." Now, if you followed Steph's career, you know one thing: he doesn't need motivation. But Ja just handed it to him on a silver platter. Steph didn't respond with words, he responded with buckets. In Game 3, he dropped 30 points, leading the Warriors to a decisive victory. By Game 4, he was unstoppable, scoring another 32 points and making the Grizzlies look like a high school team at times. In Game 5, the Grizzlies showed some fight, crushing the Warriors by 39 points. It was impressive. But Steph wasn't worried. He knew Game 6 was coming, and that's when things got serious. Game 6 wasn't just a game, it was a masterpiece. Steph dropped 29 points, hit dagger after dagger, and sent the Grizzlies packing. And, of course, he had to remind them who they were dealing with. His signature night-night celebration became the perfect mic drop. After the series, the Grizzlies had to face the music. They might have been the young guns, but the Warriors were the OGs. And Steph? He walked away with another playoff series win and one less team to worry about. This series wasn't just about basketball, it was about respect. The Grizzlies learned that if you want to talk trash, you'd better be ready to back it up. And Steph Curry? He proved once again why he's the most dangerous man on the court. Trash talk might be part of the game, but when it comes to Steph Curry, it's better to stay quiet. Because when the chef gets cooking, it's lights out, and in this case, night-night. In December 2023, Jaylen Brown made one of the oldest mistakes in basketball history. He disrespected Steph Curry. His infamous too small gesture wasn't just a taunt, it was an invitation for Curry to unleash a masterpiece. Spoiler alert, things didn't end well for Jaylen or the Celtics. To understand why this game mattered so much, we need to rewind to the 2022 finals. The Warriors and Celtics faced off in a heated series, and Steph Curry torched Boston, winning his first Finals MVP. Fast forward to December 2023, and the Celtics were looking for payback. But Steph? He was just looking for fun. The Celtics came out swinging, and Curry was having an off night, missing shots, picking up fouls, and looking unusually human. Then came the moment. Jaylen Brown drove to the basket, got an and one over Curry, and hit him with the too small gesture. Let's just say, that was a bold choice. Steph didn't react right away. He just smiled, sat on the bench with 5 fouls, and waited. If you've ever seen a lion stalking its prey, you know exactly what this looked like. When Curry checked back in, it was like someone flipped a switch. Down 13 points with 6 minutes left? No problem. He started hitting everything. Threes from the logo, contested jumpers, you name it. The Celtics went from confident to confused in record time. By the time the game hit overtime, the Celtics were done. Curry had turned a 14-point deficit into a Warriors blowout. And when he hit the game-clinching 3, he made sure to send a message putting the Celtics and Jaylen Brown to sleep with his night-night celebration. After the game, Curry played it cool, saying, "It's just basketball." But deep down, we all knew the truth. He'd made Jaylen Brown think twice about ever taunting him again. As for Brown, let's just say he's probably saving the too small gesture for someone else. This wasn't just a comeback, it was a reminder. No matter how bad a night Steph Curry might have, he's always one shot away from greatness. So, if you're thinking about calling him too small, here's a tip: don't. Steph Curry doesn't need to talk trash, he lets his game do the talking. And for Jaylen Brown, this game was a harsh reminder: when it comes to Steph, no lead is safe, and no taunt goes unpunished.